Okay, so as of now, we discuss about the complete receivable configuration. Okay, now we are going to discuss about the payment terms. Okay, so you tell me, you tell me what do you mean by payment terms? Okay, payment terms is nothing but it tell you the what is the due date, right? For example, I have credit card. Okay, so if I have a credit card, I need to make a payment for my credit card, right? So I will have a due date, right? So how my due date will be calculated in my credit card based upon the my statement generate date, right? Statement generate date less 30 days or 40 days, then it will become my due date, right? For example, my statement was generated on August 5th, okay? 01st August 1st, 2025. Okay, this is my statement generated date. So from the date statement generated plus 30 days, okay, plus 30 days. So 31st is my 31st August 2025 is my due date, right? So payment terms is nothing but with the help of the payment terms, we can identify the respective invoice due date. Okay, so payment is nothing but it will tell you the net due date. Okay, so for example, for this we have a transactional code OBB8. So this is the payment terms. Okay, so for example, let's take an example like I want to give the due date of 15 days for my customers or else vendors. I want to give the due date of 15 days and also 30 days. So I want two due days. Okay. So for this, what I need to do, click on new entries. What is my payment terms? Click on this. Okay. So I want to take the payment terms. I want to take any unique name. What is my company code is TAMA, right? So I will take as a TA15. This code is for 15 days due days. Okay. And TA30. This is for 30 days payment terms. Okay. So what I will do here TA15. So in the description I will mention as net 15 days. Okay. Here we need to mention first term, what is my due date? 15 days is my due date, right? So here we need to identify, we need to tell the system what is the baseline date, from which date we need to calculate that 15 days, right? Okay. So here my baseline date is a document date. Okay. So before I telling, I need to explain what do you mean by document date. Okay. So if you observe the baseline calculation, we have a three dates, right? Here we have a three dates, which is a no default, which means the no calculations. Okay. Apart from this, document date, posting date, and entry date. Okay, document date is nothing but when the invoice was generated. If it is a income, if it is a AP invoice, or it is a AR invoice. Okay, so document date is nothing but the invoice date when that invoice was generated. Right, the invoice date normally we will call it as a document date. Okay, so the posting date is nothing but the invoice was generated on 1st August. Okay, so try to understand. So invoice was generated on 1st August, but we have received this invoice on 26th August. Okay, and we need to enter this invoice in the system when we received it, right? So posting date usually the today's date. Okay, normally as per the when we are entering the document in the system, we will enter the posting date as a today's date. Okay, okay, so this is the today's date. Okay, so but entry date also same, entry date also today's date, but the difference between the posting date and entry date automatically system will take. Okay, but the posting date we manually update the today's date. Okay, why there is a difference between, for example, the invoice has received on 26th. Okay, so we need to enter on the same day, but what we did, we forgot to enter that invoice on that day. Okay, but when 27th start, okay, when 27th started, we are telling the system instead of giving the 27, here this is the yesterday invoice. Okay, I supposed to enter this invoice on yesterday, but I forgot to enter it on yesterday. Okay, but what I will do, instead of 27 today's date, I will enter the 27th August 2025, but the entry date is system automatically take it as a 27th August 2025, right? But most of the scenarios posting date should be equal to the entry date. But in this situation, both are different because we are supposed to enter this invoice on 26th, but we miss it to enter that invoice on that particular day. Okay, so that is the reason that the posting date and entry date is different. Okay, so here we are telling the system 50 days, the calculation from which date it is a posting date. Okay, if I click on the posting date, it will take from the posting date onward. If I click on entry date, it will calculate as per the entry date point of view. If I click on document date, it will take the calculation of the 50 days from the document point of view. Okay, so TA15 I created TA15. One by one we can check. After that, that what I mentioned, TA 30 days, right? So I will select this. I will copy. Instead of this TA13, I will put TA30 number, and here I will mention as a 30 days. Okay, TA30 was selected, right? So now just enter any invoice, FB70 or FB60. Okay, customer invoices for FB70, right? So I will take the customer number, document date is 26/08/2025. Okay, so if you enter this $100 here, if I click on the tab payment, okay, here I have the payment terms, right? What are the payment terms which we created? 15 days or 30 days, right? So if I click on TA15 here, enter, due date was not mentioned here. Let me edit option. If you observe, the payment terms is 15 days is correct in here, right? If I post the document, then I can identify the due date of this document. Okay. For example, if I post this document, the document 8002 is posted, right? So if I click on display this document, this is the document which now posted 8003 10/9 2025, which means 15 days, right? Okay, so when I enter the document, it was calculating the 15 days. Okay, so I can use the FB60 transaction also. FB60. Okay, if I click on FB60, this is my vendor. What is my invoice date? It's 30 days. Okay, here I directly can show you. Okay. TA 15. If I select a TA 15, payment term is calculating the 50 days, right? 10/9/2025. Okay. So if I select TA 30, these two payment terms which we created, right? One is for 15 days, another is for 30 days, right? So if I click on TA 30 in payment terms, the date was changed 25/9/2025, right? So how it was calculated? It was calculated based on the posting date, right? So how this configuration is coming? So in OBB8, in OBB8, displays TA15, which we created, right? So we mentioned the system like this is payment term is for both account types. Okay, which means that it is applicable for the customer and also it is applicable for the vendors, right? So default baseline date we mentioned the posting date, right? So that is the reason. What is my posting date in this document? 26/8 is my posting date. Today's date is my posting date. So it is calculating as the baseline dates plus my payment term is TA30. The ID is okay. Baseline date plus 30 days, which means calculating the due date as 25/9/2025, right? Got it? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, 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 yes. So now we are going to discuss about the discounts. Okay, for example, okay, next I will tell you about the discounts. Okay, the payment terms, I mean, the payment net due date is 30 days. Okay, net due date is 30 days, but we are giving the discount to the customers. Okay, and also the vice versa. We are getting the discount from the vendors. Okay, if the customer paying the invoice within 10 days, okay, within 10 days, we will give you the 3% discount. Okay, 3% of discount if they pay within 10 days. Okay, and the same way, 2% of discount if they can pay within 20 days. Okay, got it? So in normal accounting terminology and SAP, how we will call it as a 2, 3 by 10 net 30 days. Okay, so this is the statement usually we will mention 3 by 10 net 30 days, which means that 3% we get 3 percentage of discount if we pay or if we receive. We pay or receive in 10 days. Okay, so normally if we do any business transactions, if we are paying early, we will get the discount from the customers, right? We will give the discounts to the customers and also we will get the discounts from the vendors, right? So in the same way, the 3% of discount, we can call it as like this 3 by 10 net 30, which means that the net days is 30 days, total due days is 30 days, but we will get a 3% of discount if we pay within 10 days. In the same way, 2 by 20, which means 2% of discounts if we pay within 20 days, right? So how we can inform the same thing in the system? Okay, so for this, what I will do, I will copy this. For the discount, I will mention a TADS discount. Okay, so I will mention the code as TADS discount. That is the reason I mentioned a DS discount. Okay, so explanation I will mention as discount 2 by 10, comma 3 by 10. 3% of discount in 10 days, okay, and 2% of discount if they pay in 20 days, and net is 30 days. Okay, so my default base 10 days is posting date, right? Here, what I will mention 30 days my total net days, right? So, but in a first term, I will mention as a 3% of discount if they can pay in 10 days, okay, and also 2% of discount if they can pay within 20 days, okay. So I will save this TADS. Here, same document, I will mention a TADS. Now you can observe, right? What is my due date? 26/8/2025 plus 30 days, which means 25/9/2025, right? So that how the 30 days calculation was done. So with the help of this, so with the help of this total payment, it was 30 days, right? And the system is telling that 10 days 3% is discount, which means if the vendor can if we make a payment to the vendor within 10 days, we will get the 3% of discount. Okay, so if we make the payment within 20 days, we will get the 2% of discount, but the entire due date is 30 days. Got it? So if I take pose this document, okay, if I pose this document FBL 1N, the document number is 3001. FBL 1N. This we can change layout. What is my net due date? What is my net due date for this document? 30018, 25/9, 2025. Right? If I open this document also, here we can do 10% of discount if we pay with, sorry, 3% of discount we will get if we can pay the within 10 days. Okay, and 2% of discount if we pay within 20 days. Right? Here we can do the, this is the payment terms calculation. Okay, and this is the payment terms which we selected, TADS. Right? The baseline date is posting date, which we entered the document from 26/8/2025. Right? So this is the usage of this fundament discount related one. So as of now, we have discussed that two. One requirement is related to the direct net due date. So when the direct net due date, we mention the 15 days here and 30 days here. Okay, but another thing is, second one is like a discount terminology. So, and the next thing is, first one, okay, and the third one is, third requirement, I mean to say, third one is, for example, fixed date. For example, instead of calculating any baseline date, every month 15th is a due date, or else every month 20th is a due date. Okay, so just take an example. Every month 21st is my due date. Okay, irrespective of any baseline date calculation. Okay, irrespective of any date calculation, every month 21st is my due date. Okay, so for this, what I need to do? Okay, I will copy this TAFX fixed date. Okay, so here I will mention as 21st of every month. Okay, so here I will mention as a 21. Okay, so now the system, if I mention the baseline date, no default or document and anything, it will ignore this and it will mention the every month 21st. Okay, so if I click on it, code is TAFX, right? So I will mention as TAFX. Okay, so I will open the document. I will enter any another document, FB60 or FB70. So here, my what is my payment term? TAFX, right? If I double click on it, 21/8/2025, right? So irrespective of the date, okay. So as per the setting, what I mentioned, my baseline date should be posting date, right? But what was the posting date? I was entered 26/8/2025, right? But irrespective of the baseline date calculation, it is directly dating taking the 21st of every month, right? Hello. Okay. So if I go back, instead of the 21, I will mention as a 50. Okay. So it will take the every month 50. Save. Just I save this. I just refresh this with taking another one and TFX. TFX. Okay. Now it is automatically taking the due date as 15, right? Hello. You got the point, right? So if I mention the fixed date here, it will take the current month 15th of every month instead of taking the any baseline date. Okay. So here in this, what are the things I mentioned? I mentioned the baseline date as a posting date, but it is not calculating as per the posting date. It is taking the fixed day as a 15th of every month. Okay. So if I mention 15th, which means it is taking the 15th of every month. Okay. So in this column, we have additional months. If I click on one, so it will take the 15th of next month. Okay. So if I save this, okay. So if I click on EAFX, it will take the 15th of next month, right? Now you got the point, right? What do you mean by the fixed date and what is the additional months, right? So in a fixed date or additional months, we have discussed. Okay, so when you click on this fixed date or additional months, system will ignore this complete field, default baseline date, and it will take the respective fixed date. Okay, so if I click on 20 here, if I enter 20 here, it will take the every month 20. If I click on additional months, it will take the next month of the 20. Okay, got it? Here I mentioned 15th of 15th plus additional month 1. That is the reason it is taking the 15th of ninth month, next month. Okay, so next we are going to discuss about. Okay, next requirement. Okay, this is the completely payment terms, but I'm explaining as per the business requirement. Okay, so in the first requirement, we have a only two payment term, which is 15 days and 30 days. Okay, at that moment, what they did, we mentioned the baseline date as per the business requirement. Baseline date may be posting date. Okay, so the posting date plus 15 days we mentioned here, and another one is 30 days we mentioned here. But later we have a concept of discount. The business is telling that the due date is 30 days, but we are giving the discount to the customers or we are getting the discounts from the vendor. So what are the discount parameters? 3 by 10, which means 3% of the discount if we pay within 10 days. At that moment, what we need to do? We need to mention the 3% of discount in 10 days and 2% of the discount in 20 days. And what is the complete due date? 30 days. Okay. So, so that we can mention. And after that, we have some other requirement of payment terms like fixed day. Fixed day means 15 additional months one. So every month 15, the payment will be done and every month 15. I mean, every month it will move to the due date. Okay. So here we will mention the 15 or 20 or 30 respectively. Okay. And here we can add the months over there, right? So we have for example, in a business, we have a thousands of vendors, right? We have a thousands of vendors. So for the thousands of vendors, we will have the different payment terms, right? For example, in our business or even our lifespan also, I mean, in our normal day also, we cannot make a payment to everyone in a single way, right? For example, in rent, we will make 30-day payment. Credit card, we will make 45 days payment, right? So some payments, right, like everyday payments. So in the same way, business also we have a thousands of vendors or thousands of customers. As per the contract which we made from with them, accordingly we will make this payment terms, right? Okay. So next is installment payments. Okay. How this installment payments will be done? Okay. For example, I have a two installments. Okay. two installments. Okay. So one is 50% of the installment, and second is the 50% of the installment. Okay. The first 50% should be done in 15 days. Another 50% should be done in 30 days. Okay. So for this, how I need to do, for example, create. I will tell my system TAIN, which means installment. Okay. So here I'm not making anything. Just I'm telling the system this is the installment payment. Okay. So I have created a payment term TAIN. I have created a payment term is TAIN. Okay. So I created a code with TAIN and I just included a tick mark for the is installment payment so that the system will identify that it is related to the installment payments. Okay. So I click on it, save. So instead of TAIN, then I will create IN 15, installment 15 days for 15 days installment. Okay. So here I will mention 15 days. Here I created the IN 15. In the same way, I will create IN 13. Be able to observe for the TAIN installment payments, I activated this tick mark, right? But for IN 15 and IN 13, I just normally created how I created the 15 days and 30 days, right? So this is the OBBA transaction code. After that, I need to go to tell the system how much of the percentage for each installment, right? So OBB9. So in this, if I click on new entries, what is my TAIN installment is what I mentioned 50% installment one. What is the percentage? 50%. Right? My payment term is for 15 days. I need to make the first installment, which is IN 15. Right? The second installment is how much? 50%. Okay, for that, the payment term is IN 30 days. So if I open FB16, I click on the payment terms. Here I will take the TAIN. So if I click on it, it was moved to the installment payments. Okay. I click on 3019 was posted. Right. So if I open the document, display, if you're able to observe this entry, the 50% was divided, right? The $10 was divided into the two parts, right? 50% in one installment and 50% in another installment. Okay. So normally, if you observe these payment terms usually, as I mentioned, we have 1,000 of vendors. In a vendor master data or customer's master data, we will have this payment terms. Okay. So if I click on this address, payment transactions, payment transactions. We will have the payment terms. Okay. So if I want to enter TA 15. So it will take the respective payment terms. So payment terms can be mostly assigned at the level of vendor level, right? So as of now, we saw that vendor level we will have the payment terms, right? So apart from this, invoice level also we will have the payment terms. Okay. So the first priority would be invoice level. At the time of invoice level, if we forgot to enter if we did not enter the payment term, then it automatically take the vendor level. Okay. For example, in FB16, we forgot to enter the payment terms. Okay. So it will take the payment terms for the any invoice document as per the respective vendor level. Got it? For example, vendor is 8,000. Okay. For this 8,000, I have entered one document called 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. For this document, I forgot to enter the payment terms. So by default, it will take the payment terms which was assigned in the vendor level. Okay. But if I entered any payment terms in the invoice level, this is the highest priority. Got it?